Hi people, I'm Icy, and today we'll be looking at my game collection and recent pickups. I'm going to start with a game that actually ended my recent collection. I don't mean that the way it sounds, it's actually just the last game that I wanted for my collection. So here we have Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. This is a game I've looked for a long time. I was literally looking for it ever since I played it as I want to say I was 8 years old when I first played this game. It was the first RPG I probably remember playing. Finally, I found a box copy. It's in this nice collector's case, and it's complete. The only bad thing about it is there is a rip here on the box. I don't think I'm going to get any better than that though. I did spend a little bit more than I normally would have in the $80 range, which is way more than I like to spend on games. You'll see that in a second. But I had to have this one, and I'm totally glad to have it. Up next, I'm going to barrage you with an entire collection. We're going to go through the entirety of my Pokemon collection. I'm only going to do main game, so none of the extras are going to appear in this video, but I do have more than I'm about to show you. I'm going to do them in order, so here we go. First up, we have my original copy of Blue. I still have the cartridge and the box. Pokemon Red, another copy of Red. Pokemon Yellow in pretty bad condition. Pokemon Yellow in slightly less bad condition. And lastly, a good condition copy of Pokemon Yellow. My original owned copy of Gold, complete in box. I don't feel like taking it out right now. You can kind of see the cartridge in there. Pokemon Silver, another copy of Pokemon Silver. And my copy of Pokemon Crystal. Pokemon Sapphire. My original copy of Pokemon Ruby. A slightly scratched up copy of Pokemon Ruby. Another copy of Pokemon Ruby. And a fourth copy of Pokemon Ruby. My single copy of Pokemon Emerald. Pokemon Fire Red. Copy of Diamond. Sadly no box. A sealed copy of Pokemon Platinum. My copy of Pokemon Soul Silver. A sealed copy of Pokemon Heart Gold. Another sealed copy of Pokemon Heart Gold. And a third copy of Pokemon Heart Gold sealed. My copy of Pokemon Black. Pokemon Black 2. And lastly, Pokemon Y. I'm sure you noticed the multiple copies of certain Pokemon games. I use these for extra save files, Nuzlocks, just like having the extra space to play with Pokemon. I have a lot of copies of Ruby. I'd probably be able to get rid of those, at least 2 of them, because 4 seems like overkill. So the Pokemon collection kind of segues us into my recent finds, as I have a new Pokemon game to show off. A little bit of backstory, I recently went to Gamers Exchange here in my area, and I was a vendor. Got rid of a lot of my extra copies of certain games and made a little bit of money. Used most of the money to pay bills, but some of it went to getting some new pieces for my collection. First thing that I actually bought was at Gamers Exchange. It is a nice looking copy of Pokemon Emerald in box complete. There's no visible tears. The cart and everything are in its plastic bag, and it came in a nice little plastic case to keep it nice and fresh. Just an awesome find. Keeping with handheld games, I purchased a copy of Apollo Justice for about $5 at a pawn shop. I want to say about a year ago. For $5, a loose DS cart is not that bad. I really like the Ace Attorney games. I figured it was a good buy. Now, sometime last week, I was looking through a free bin at my local used bookstore, and I happened upon this. In finding this, I now have a complete copy to go on the shelf. Now, if you ask any of my friends, I am a very frugal gamer. I have to find the cheapest deal possible to even incite my interest. So a lot of the times, I'll pass up a deal that most people would be like, wow, that's great, just because it's not in my price range. If you happened upon my videos through my friend Jimbo, you'll know that I was on his show recently and I showed off some of my recent finds. They were like a stack of 5 games I found for $1 a piece. I'm going to keep with that $1 a piece theme here tonight and show you some games I found at a local thrift store. We'll start with this old PC game I found at the thrift store. A copy of Oblivion Collector's Edition. Now, anybody who has Oblivion Collector's Edition knows that inside there is supposed to be a coin. Sadly, was not lucky enough to have it on that. However, everything else is in complete condition. And while it is the PC version, it's still a pretty good find for $1. Next, I have some games for the Wii. All of these are sealed. First, we have a Nintendo Selects Animal Crossing. Next, we have a copy of Kirby's Epic Yarn. And lastly, for Wii, we have Metroid The Other M. On all three of these, I'm just shocked that they're sealed and that they were $1 a piece. Can't imagine what these will be worth later if I keep them in this condition, since they're all Nintendo in-house. Next, I have some games for the original Xbox. Amped 2, 007 Everything or Nothing, Spider-Man, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, Tony Hawk's Underground, easily the best Tony Hawk's game, epic storyline. And lastly, Jaws Unleashed. Kind of a hilarious game, actually. Lastly, from this thrift store score, we have PS2 games. Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, NBA Street, DDR Max, DDR Max 2, Harry Potter Quidditch Cup, Karaoke Revolution Volume 3, The Adventures of Cookie and Cream, another copy of Tony Hawk's Underground, and Guitar Hero. Now, some of those games I wouldn't have grabbed if they weren't $1, but even a game like NBA Street at $1 is, I feel it's worth it. My next score cost me $40. Not included in this video, I also got a Rock Band 3 drum set and a wireless guitar. I also got Halo 3 and Halo 3 ODST, but I already shelved them because I forgot I was making this video. So for $40, here's what I got. I'm going to start with PS2 games. IHRA Motorsports Drag Racing 2, Strike Force Bowling, Outlaw Golf 2, Madden 2003, NCAA 07, and Guitar Hero 3. Now I know so far you're like, Icy, those are all sports games. Keep with me. Moving on, we have 360 games from this score. Rock Revolution, Guitar Hero World Tour, Space Chimps, NCAA 2010, Madden 2011, You're in the Movies, and one of the better scores in the 360 section, we have Kung Fu Panda with Indiana Jones The Original Adventures. I know, you're thinking, but Icy, those are still crappy games. Next, we're moving on to GameCube. Eggmania Extreme Madness, Tiger Woods Pro Tour 2003, Backyard Football, Rocket Power Beach Bandits, DreamWorks Madagascar, SpongeBob SquarePants Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion, Nickelodeon Party Blast, Pixar's Cars, Pixar's Finding Nemo, 18-Wheeler American Pro Trucker, Donkey Konga, Sonic Mega Collection, Crazy Taxi, Mario Party 5, Mario Party 6, and Mario Party 7. Anybody that follows game markets, eBay, any kind of price tracker, knows that in just Mario Party games, that's well over $40. So I think I did pretty good. I got a lot of sports games that I don't really plan on playing, but I might give them a shot since they were really cheap. Next, I have a couple eBay scores. Not as good, but they were games I was either looking for or a specific type. I don't usually eBay often because it's really hard to find good game deals, but I think I did pretty well on this. Anybody that's into PlayStation collecting knows that there was a period of PlayStation's history where they published all their games into long boxes. I have a decent long box collection. I want to say I have around 6 games so far, so if we add in these 3, Ridge Racer, Gex, Williams Arcade's Greatest Hits. Anyway, these are really hard to find games. They were not easy to take care of. As you can see on the Williams cart, the flaps are kind of coming off. That's a common occurrence. Some people just tore the labels straight off when that started to happen. So finding them in decent condition is pretty impressive. If you can find them or do see them and you collect video games, I urge you to grab them and take care of them. So that concludes this episode. If you people like this, make sure to like the video. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. I'll be doing more videos soon, and I'll see you people later. So much sweat.